Good morning, everybody. Rise and shine. Ready or not, let's do this. This is a ridiculously early morning webinar to start your day off right, whether you're ready for it or not. There's a little bit of mindset, a little bit of business sense to get your MLM network marketing business, small business, brick and mortar, online or off, up and running like a well-oiled machine. Whether you are a newbie, a seasoned veteran, or somewhere in between, there's something here from you. Welcome. My name is Mina. I'm coming to you from New York City. How are you doing today? It's been an eventful week for me, an exciting week. I just came back from Las Vegas from a powerful private mastermind with a great leader in attraction marketing. And I'm back now. I'm wondering, how are you doing today? Well, not wondering, how are you doing today? Hope all is well. Right now, the time is 6:20 a.m. in the morning. As I said in past webinars, this is one of the things I'm doing to push myself out of my comfort zone. Now, I'm also thinking of one more thing to do with these webinars is to shrink it down to 15 minutes instead of 30 so that I can pack more value in less time, which is another way to challenge myself. So today, speaking of value, for today's mindset moment, I want to speak about adding value to people. Now, John Maxwell said this, and let me read it to you. At the core of my being, I believe there's nothing in this life more important than people. To me, that means doing everything in my power to add value to people. Now, when you're in the industry of network marketing, MLM, you are an entrepreneur, people are very important. You have to love people because as an entrepreneur, you're providing solutions to help people grow, to help people solve problems. So in order to do that, you have to love people, you have to like people, and you have to value people. And it all starts with your attitude towards people. What is your attitude towards people? Do you see them as fellow human beings that you can collaborate and do great things together, or you don't want to deal with people? Now, if you're thinking of the latter, then that is a big challenge. That is a problem that you need to overcome. Because when you're not seeing people eye to eye and you don't value them, you tend to manipulate them for your own gain. And that's not an ideal situation. It says here, what John Maxwell says here, we manipulate people when we move them for our personal advantage, However, we motivate people when we move them for mutual advantage. Let me say that to you again. We manipulate people when we move them for our personal advantage. However, we motivate people when we move them for mutual advantage. You want to do the latter. You want to motivate people for mutual advantage. When you motivate people, you are pouring value into them, and so that they can grow and you benefit and they benefit, especially if you are working with a team of people in your business. When you motivate them, when you pour into them, your business will grow exponentially. Adding value to others is a win-win proposition. When you decide that you're going to add value to others, you win as well. When you help them, and instead of holding things from them, you're helping yourself as well because you're being generous. Author Sidney J. Harris said this, and pay attention to this. People want to be appreciated, not impressed. They want to be regarded as human beings, not sounding boards for other people's egos. They want to be treated as an end in themselves, not as a means toward the gratification of another's vanity. Let me read it to you again, because I think this is a really important quote. People want to be appreciated, not impressed. They want to be regarded as human beings, not sounding boards for other people's egos. They want to be treated as an end in themselves, not as a means towards the gratification of another's vanity. Now, this reminds me of a teaching from Doug Fireball called Transactional, Transitional, and Transformational Leadership. I really encourage you to go and find the Fire Zone on SoundCloud and to listen to that particular teaching. In brief, being in transactional leadership is where you're just looking, especially in network marketing, you're looking for the sale. You're looking for adding people to your downline. It's all about me, I. What can I do now to add more money and more to grow my business? And while that necessarily thing in the long run, you can do it starting out as you're learning the business, but eventually it's going to have to move into a transitional leadership where you're realizing, okay, I've been able to do this and make a sale and add people to my downline, but now how am I going to keep them with me? Then that's when you start seeing the value of starting to put value into other people or pouring into other people. And so you're starting to move from the transactional leadership into the transitional. And eventually from transitional, when you're starting to see the value of pouring value into people and motivating your downline to grow, then you go into transformational leadership where you are working to transform lives of other people, where you're pouring into others and motivating them to do the same, into growing. That is when your leadership turns from transitional into transformational, when you're transforming lives for the better. Now, these forms of leaderships are important to know in your growth as a leader in your business. And in order to do the transitional and the transformational leadership, you need to be pouring into yourself first so that you can pour into others. And how do you do that? Well, you have to make yourself more valuable. You cannot pour into others what you do not have. You cannot give what you don't have. How do you expect to be generous? How do you expect to teach generosity to other people if you're not generous yourself? If you're finding it difficult to give or to part ways with something, you can't teach that skill to other people. You have to pour that into yourself first. You have to teach yourself that first. You have to learn how to be generous before you can teach others to be generous. And making yourself more valuable is not an entirely selfish act. John C. Maxwell in 1974 realized that in order to be a more effective minister, he had to pour into himself first. So he started to read books. He still does to this day. He continually reads books. He listens to tapes, or these days CDs and MP3s. And what else did he do? And he attended conferences. Very important. Reading books, listening to tapes and MP3s, and attending events and conferences. Those are important ways and valuable ways to pour value into yourself so that you can pour out value to other people. So all the stuff that you're learning as a network marketer, as a leader, things that you read, websites like entrepreneur.com, books like John C. Maxwell, Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, all of that stuff is value that you're pouring into yourself so that you can pour into others. Mastermind events, like one I attended this week with an attraction marketing leader, Diane Hochman, she poured a lot of stuff into us. And for her to be able to pour that value into us, she poured it into herself first. 15 years of experience. And now we have all that value that what we learned this week, we're going to start to pour into others, because once you have all that value that you receive from books such as this one here by John C. Maxwell, or this one here, Today Matters by John C. Maxwell fan, or even things like this one here, which I'm looking at right now, and I'm going to be sharing what I learned from here with you very soon. What you learn that adds value to yourself, you can share with others. You have a responsibility to share that with others. And that is what's going to help your business grow. That's what's going to help you grow. And that is what's going to help you pour into others. If you see a little black shadow behind me, that's my dog saying hi. So you have to make yourself more valuable so that you can add value to others and pour into others. So that is today's mindset moment of adding value to people. Now, I am going to Oh, there's one more thing for today's mindset moment. In order to add value to people, you have to appreciate them and you have to make yourself more valuable, but you have to also know what people value. And this is one of the most important steps in adding value to people, is knowing what people value. Once you know what people value, you can make an effort to add value to that. And we must take the time to know what our most valuable people value. And it could be several things. It could be time and attention from a spouse. Your spouse values your time and attention. It could be leadership and opportunities for people that you mentor. It could be friendship and mentoring for your friends and loved ones, even your students. It could be networking opportunities for people in your downline. It could be also this: immediately applying a skill taught from a leader to show that we're paying attention. Did you hear that? If we have leaders that are constantly pouring into us, constantly teaching us, showing us skills to build our business, skills that are important for you to generate leads or get sales, if they pour their heart and soul into a webinar and all we do is sit there and just take it in and not do anything with that, that is a way that we're not showing them value. We're not appreciating what they value, which is that we take in that information and we run with it and we put it into action right away and we generate results. That is adding value to those leaders, to those teachers, because they're seeing that what they have done, all the work that they have done up to this point, really does work, and it is valuable because they're sharing that with others. So that is one way to know what people value, and showing that we know what others value, showing our leaders by taking immediately what they've taught us, applying it, taking action, and showing them that it works. There's this great marketer out there. Her name is Lisa Thompson, Dr. Lisa Thompson. She is the digital marketing doctor. She is a huge action taker. We'll see her on webinars, and she immediately takes notes on what the leaders are teaching, and then she immediately puts it into action. And when she gets results, she says, look, I learned this, I learned A, I put it into action, and I generated B. And this stuff works. So she is a prime example of taking what leaders teach, seeing the value in that, and appreciating that value by learning about it and putting it into action. So that is part of our mindset moment. Today's business sense moment is all about webinars. And I'm going to show you a little trick when you have your webinar platform, and it's called the lower third. What is the lower third? The lower third is that banner that you see below people when they're speaking on webinars that identifies them. It has their name and it has their tagline. So I'm going to show you that right now. I'm going to share my screen. And the platform that I use is Webinars on Air, which is a very simple platform to do your webinars. They have great tutorials, and it's very accessible to all types of leadership and entrepreneurship business people, not only for network marketing, but if you have a small brick and mortar business, if you have a yoga studio, if you sell insurance, if you bake pies, and you want to teach people how to bake pies, this platform can be for you as well. I'm going to show you how to create your lower third. And I'm going to share my screen with you. Here goes. For today's business sense strategy, for today's business sense moment, I'm going to show you how you can share your YouTube video across a series of social media platforms. Now, or you can share not only your YouTube video, maybe you're watching a YouTube video that you found a lot of value in. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Right now, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go to YouTube first. And let's see. I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to find a cool video. Okay, so for today's Business Sense moment, I'm going to show you how to take a YouTube video and share it across different forms of social media. So we're going to share our screen right now. Screen share. And go by the Google Hangouts here. I'm going to share this. And we're going to go to this one right here called this is Eric Worre. This is a 3-minute video. Either you win or you learn. Network Marketing Pro number 1155. That's episode 1155. I'm going to make this into theater mode. Did you know that? You see there's a little settings here on the YouTube video. You have watch later, you have subtitles, you have settings, and you have theater mode. You want to do subtitles, you can click on this, and you have automatic captions. And I'm going to put this in theater mode to just make this screen a little bit bigger. And I'm going to hit play.
As we close out, or we prepare to close out 2014, we enter into 2015. I want you to do one thing for me. As you're doing your year in review.
So you can see here, you can have
all the things that you were able to accomplish in 2014. Sometimes you look back and you look at the things you didn't accomplish. And we're so good in this profession at being hard on ourselves, at beating ourselves up, at pounding on ourselves over the things we didn't do, that rank you didn't get to, that goal you didn't reach. It's all part of the journey. As long as we grow in each experience, we don't lose. Either we win or we learn. That's one of the two things that we do. We win, we hit our goal, or we learn. And learning is the key to growth. Learning is the key to goals.
So you can see here, I had activated the subtitles, and while it's not exactly what Eric Worre is saying, you get the gist of what he's talking about in his video. Is either you win or you learn. He's talking about the year of 2014 and you maybe not hitting all the goals that you had set, but don't beat yourself up over that. Either you win based on the goals you did hit, or you learn. You learn from what you need to do better for 2015. But for this skill here, I've shown you how you can put subtitles, and I'm going to just disable them. And I've showed you how to go from the default view to the theater mode. But what I want to show you is how you can take a valuable YouTube video such as this and share it across different forms of social platforms. Now, some people just grab the link and they go into their Facebook or their Twitter and they just put up the link there. But if you see here, down here, right below the video where it says share, just click on this, share, and you can click on any of these buttons here and share it. So I'm going to share it on my Twitter. And you can see this box appeared right over here. And it's already prepared. Either you win or you learn, Network Marketing Pro, and it has the link at YouTube. So I'm going to just sign in with my credentials. And I'm going to log in and tweet. And there it is. Your tweet has been posted. View it on Twitter. You see my little avatar there. You want to see it again? Let's share it across my Facebook. I'm going to share it on my Facebook. Share to Facebook. And another box, the moment I click on the Facebook button, a box appears and says post to Facebook. So I'm going to say this: don't beat yourself up over what you did not do yet. Learn and get ready to blast 2015. Like that. And so I am going to, I put this little thing here, and I'm going to share. So here is the little business sense tip for you today. You can take a valuable video from Eric Worre or Les Brown or any other important people that you want to share, and share it across your social media by clicking on share and clicking on one of these different buttons of any social media that you are subscribed to. You can also do Pinterest, Google+. And what you're doing here is that you found value in this video. I found value in this video, and I learned something from this video, and now it's my responsibility to share it with somebody else. And that is sharing value. So let us go back here. And so to recap, for today's mindset moment, we learned the value of adding value to others, where we recognize that people are valuable, that we have to love people in order to add value to them. We also need to know that in order to add value to others, we have to pour into ourselves first. And finally, the most important aspect is to know what other people value so that we can make the effort to add value to them. And in today's business sense moment, we learned that I can't show you on a live webinar how to add the lower third. I have to do that before I start the webinar. So I am going to create a video on how you can do that and post that up for you to learn from. But I showed you how you can take a YouTube video, which is valuable in of its own, something that you learned that you got value from, and share it across social media so that you can add value to others. I want to thank you today for stopping by on Rise and Shine, Ready or Not, Let's Do This. And I want to wish you a happy Friday and even a happier weekend. Have a lovely day, folks. This is Mina coming to you from New York City, out in the borough of Queens. Thanks for stopping by. Have an awesome day. Cheers.